when you are working with a celebrity and you are thoughtful and intentional in the type of celebrity and the things that they care about and who they are, and you tie it the right way to a cause or to a activation, it has the capability of getting massive amounts of attention. And in that attention, if you are smart about what happens when people swivel their neck to take a look, and you can drive that into them connecting with you more deeply, giving you their information, it really can help drive that impact of the work that you're doing. Because celebrities, love them or hate them, a lot of them have massive followings, right? And even if someone doesn't like the celebrity, it'll show up on their feed, right? Because they engage with it.
Hey there, and welcome to Impact After Hours, where changemakers sign off from work and log into life. I'm Camila Rente, CEO and co-founder of Hueman Group Media, and your host. One thing before we get started, if you like our content, please subscribe to our channel. It's one of the best ways to support our show. Now let's get into it. Today, I'm excited to find out what Stacy Huston, executive director of 6degrees.org, is really like off-duty. The 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game was invented back in 1994. 30 years later, it's the inspiration behind a nonprofit about the power of connection. As the co-creator and executive producer of the 6 Degrees with Kevin Bacon podcast, Stacy gives unsung changemakers from around the country a space to share their stories. She's also the creator of the Craft Method, a research-backed guide on what hinders meaningful connections and how we can turn that around. Because for Stacy, intentionality is the name of the game. Stacy Huston, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
There is one thing that you are about to do, which is have a family vacation in Japan. And it's your first time, and it's my absolute favorite country to visit. What is one thing that you're most excited to do or see when you get there?
This is going to be my standard answer for any vacation. Okay. I like to just travel to other places and then eat. I'm excited about just the food, and I love Japanese food. I have a 3 and 5-year-old. I've shared that with you. They just started eating sushi, and not like kid roll sushis, not like, deep fried, covered in sauce. No, they only want sashimi. They are the most expensive sushi dates for a 3 and 5-year-old. We could drop $80 easy. Because they just want no rice. They don't eat any of the rice. They just want sashimi. So I'm actually excited because now I'm I can take them to a place like Japan and know that there's always going to be noodles, right, to fall back on. But now they can actually really experience just the freshest, most amazing sushi possible. And I'm excited to share that with them.
I am making a lot of faces. So if you guys are not watching us on YouTube, my mouth is open because first you have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they love Japanese food. Great. But the kind of Japanese food that they're into baffles me. So I mentioned earlier in my intro that, you work at 6 Degrees, but you've been working there for almost 9 years. Almost a decade.
Which is crazy because I'm 28. So.
But okay, you gotta tell us how you and the Kevin Bacon met. What was that like? Where were you?
Oh yeah, the first time I met Kevin was on a Skype call when I was interviewing, and I remember being in this. I was actually in Banff because I was at a TED conference, and I had this interview, and I said I need to be in a space where I can plug in my computer to an Ethernet line. I was I can't even do Wi-Fi. I was so afraid something would go wrong. And so they accommodated, they kind of set me up, and I was expecting some alias name to pop up on the screen. And then it just said Kevin Bacon calling. I was oh my God. And then he jumped on, and immediately I was I can't believe I'm looking at Kevin Bacon, this is wild. But he has this very disarming way about him. Just a really normal person that is deeply like human. So he just kind of started asking me questions about my thoughts about his organization and what I would do to shift strategy and the things I'm excited about, and made it really kind of natural. And then when I started working for him just like a month later, my first day of work was picking him up at this little boutique hotel in Alexandria, Virginia. And he hops into my Toyota Prius. I don't know if I thought that like he had a driver or something, but he's like, "Can you just drive?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I was like so nervous. I was like, if I crash this car, do I have enough insurance? Like, what happens? And immediately he gets in the car and starts asking me about, do I have a sister or brother? Where did I grow up? About the person I was dating at the time, who's now my husband. And immediately all of that like anxious energy just dissipated.
Oh my gosh.
So, it was incredible. Then it was a day of back-to-back charitable drop-ins and surprising people. And I never get over what it's like when you walk into a place with him, especially like a nonprofit organization where all these people are being served or supported, and the look of surprise on their face. And that like, it's just such a joy moment that I get to kind of stand by and see and experience over and over again. It's a really fun part of the job.
Well, actually, on that subject, you've worked with celebrities, like obviously Kevin, obviously other celebrities, influential people. What do you think are some of the positives of this sort of pop culture, celebrity culture in driving social change? And maybe one challenge that you've faced in working in this kind of environment?
Yeah. Well, easy when you are working with a celebrity and you are thoughtful and intentional in the type of celebrity and the things that they care about and who they are, and you tie it the right way to a cause or to a activation. It has the capability of getting massive amounts of attention. And in that attention, if you are smart about what happens when people swivel their neck to take a look, and you can drive that into them connecting with you more deeply, giving you their information, it really can help drive that impact of the work that you're doing. Because celebrities, love them or hate them, a lot of them have massive followings, right? And even if someone doesn't like the celebrity, it'll show up on their feed, right? Because they engage with it. And so it draws more attention. And so everyone thinks, I think that's probably the negative. Most organizations that we work with at 6 Degrees, because we're a public 501c3 charity, not to be confused with a foundation, but we are like a nonprofit for nonprofits. We help them with their awareness, with their visibility. A lot of people think that if you just tie a celebrity to something, like all their problems are going to go away.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be able to fund everything. And they can almost be lazy about it and miss the opportunity, like miss the call to action that comes after that moment, and being prepared for the influx of attention that they're going to receive in that moment.
And it just reminded me of how we met. I just wanted to give her a shout out, Annalise.
Oh, for sure.
Barron, right? Who also runs another organization,
One Family Foundation with Bradley Cooper.
With Bradley Cooper. So I think what I wanted to sort of hear from you is there might be other social impact leaders at the moment currently listening to the podcast who are, trying to get a celebrity to come on, like do a campaign or work with them in a deeper way or in a more long-term way. Like there are, different facets to it. As you can attest, you've been doing this for almost a decade now, right? So,
yeah. And
I know you have a group also, because you can share, similar stories and get their input as well, and get them to share their experience about this kind of work.
Yeah. In 2023, I founded an organization called Entertain Change Collective because when I first started, I did not know anyone else that did philanthropy for celebrities. So when I had a challenge or where do I go for this? And who do I talk to for this? I just didn't have anybody. And that was really lonely. And it also can stifle your growth and the impact that you can make. A lot of these organizations are one people shops like I was in the beginning. And so I started this group, and I think there's about 15 of us now that work with celebrities, artists, musicians from kind of all over the place. And we've been able to kind of pool our collective knowledge. We had a retreat, our very first retreat in January. We got to meet everybody in person, and it's been so life-giving. And I was afraid that like no one was going to show up. And we put the invites out, and people said they were interested, and everyone showed up. And the next month we met virtually again, and everyone showed up, and they just kept coming back. And
yeah,
it was really a testament to what happens when you're like, I built this for me because I know what I needed, and oh my gosh, other people need it too. And so it's been really rewarding.
I'm thrilled that you have that kind of community, right? But Stacy, when we met, I also knew you were a lot of fun. I got that vibe.
Did you?
Instantly. Yeah. So let's do the fun. Let's do a fun game. Okay. I want to start us off with a lightning round of seemingly random questions. Are you ready to play?
As ready as I will ever be. I don't know why I'm so afraid. Like there's something about you're like, no, it's like your sly little smile. It's the lo-fi music.
I know.
It's the whole vibe. I'm just.
It's my dim, slightly dim lighting.
It is.
And your bright.
I feel like I'm on a spotlight right now on the stage.
Okay, so let's start with going for a long walk or run. Would you rather listen to music, an audiobook, or a podcast?
Oh, music.
Okay, personal style. Are you a minimalist or a maximalist?
I am a minimalist trapped in a maximalist's body. And
What is that?
It is like, I have actually gone through the 30-day minimalist challenge. I actually met the minimalists just 3 weeks ago, randomly. I swear to God. Yeah, they did a TEDx talk, the same place I did my TEDx talk. And so I got to hang out with them, have dinner. It was great. Super, super, super nice guys. And I told them that when I am doing really, really well, I'm a minimalist. Things are clean and ordered, and I can get by with very little. When I feel overwhelmed, anxious, all those types of things, you start seeing piles around me. My car is a little bit more messy. My kids' room's a little bit more in disarray. And it really is a reflection of how you're feeling inside. And so I say that I'm a minimalist inside, but sometimes I'm like fighting to get out past myself because, as you know, I'm like a very highly scheduled, I'm probably an overly scheduled person and a lot going on in my life. So it's hard to take the time that you need to clear the clutter. And that includes like the clutter in your own head, the clutter on your phone, the clutter in your calendar, all of those things.
Stacy, you gave me more than what I needed for great answer so far.
Thank you,
Stacy. What is your go-to comfort food?
Pasta. I'm part Italian. I love all things pasta. If I'm my go-to is probably like a fettuccine.
Do you make it? Do you cook?
Yeah. We honeymooned in Rome and all over Italy. I studied abroad in Rome. We took a cooking class during our honeymoon and learned how to make like hand-rolled pastas. And so during COVID, we really kicked up our game, because it's like, what else are you doing? My husband was baking bread. I was making pasta. We had a 3-month-old. So it's probably why she actually eats sushi. Let's be real.
Yeah.
She has a heightened palate because we were like, she didn't see any outside children. She didn't know chicken nuggets existed.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
So I think that maybe that's another reason they eat so well is because for the first couple years of their lives, they were just like cocooned.
Yes.
And what we had is what we gave them. And that was that.
Okay. So there you go. Parenting trick.
There you go. Boom.
For you guys.
Sprinkling gems.
Mm-hmm. We should invite you back already. There's already an invite in your inbox, Stacy, for part 2. Okay, last question for this round. What is the best movie to watch on an airplane? And please defend your answer.
The Notebook. Because one, it's like The Notebook. It's one of the best movies ever. Planes, for some reason, I just like to sit on my seat, like cry in a plane. Doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. Like I still get emotional. I've heard that it's easier to cry at higher elevation on a plane for some reason. But I somehow feel like I'm surrounded by people, but like completely alone. You know what I mean? It might be having the headset and that sort of thing. But yeah, I would go Notebook.
So, okay, that's the end of the lightning round.
Okay, I made it.
Yeah, you made it, but there's harder questions.
Oh, great. There's more.
There's more.
Awesome.
What is something you regret spending money on?
Oh my gosh, I don't know how personal I can get. I got breast implants when I was 21. And you didn't think I was going to go there, huh? And
let's just one up each other, Stacy.
Exactly right.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Went to Southern California. It's like, that's where everyone was doing it. And I actually had them removed about a year and a half ago. And it's like they served their time. I met my husband. It was like, they were done. They were done.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Exactly. A lot of free drinks. I'm kidding. But no, in reality, it was one of those things that I did because I felt like I had to. I think that looking back, it made me feel more confident at the time. And I don't knock people that do any type of plastic surgery. I think, do you, boo? In reality, as I got older and more confident in myself, I just didn't want that, you know? And I had 2 daughters and I want them to love every part of themselves. And I do think that now more than ever before, body confidence is really, really high. And I see a lot of people very confident in their body and getting to wear the things that they're most comfortable in. And I just remember thinking, man, if I was a teenager back then or a young woman, me and so many friends would have had healthier self-images, you know, of how beautifully we were made. So there you go.
I don't think anyone can top that answer. I don't think.
Are you going to try?
We'll see. I don't know. I think that's it. Like there's no better response, I think, to this question that we will ever get on this show.
Okay.
But okay, so we'll just move on. No transitions necessary. So podcast production, we are both in this field.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We're both in social impact and podcast production, which I absolutely love. For some reason, I rarely meet like that combination. So this is why we're having this kind of conversation. Yep, exactly. But what is your favorite thing about podcast production? Like your favorite thing, and then if you can share any, I don't know, like best moments, like behind the scenes stuff that you've experienced producing for so many years.
Yeah. I think podcasts are a still lesser like known medium. It's crazy how many people still don't listen to podcasts or have never listened to even one. And so I think that the trajectory is sky high with people that could tell stories, share stories. I have listened to so many different types of podcasts that I'm actually a Webby judge in the podcast section. And so I get to listen to even more podcasts that I would never typically put on, like the things I know about single engine planes or some one murder in Nevada. You know what I mean? Like just kind of the full spectrum and everything in between. But podcasts are they're all so different, you know, from interview style to investigative to, just one person actually sharing kind of a monologue and educating an audience about something, when people do narrations.
Yes.
And I find it to be really, really fascinating, and people can get really creative with how do you capture someone's attention. And the amount of times I've been listening to podcasts and I'm like, oh, I need to wash my dishes. I can do this. I can put my headset on and I can still be like active in my life, but also listening to a podcast that's like exhilarating or so interesting. I love everything about it. In terms of building, I'm one of the co-creators and executive producers for the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon podcast. And that's what we won the Webby for, and a few other things. And we got to interview lots of incredible celebrities. But what was most important to me is the other guests that we would invite on was the change maker. So we'd invite a celebrity to talk about a little bit about their life, but then why they care about a certain cause. And then it would be a segue to use their limelight, their platform, to highlight the true hero, the person that's on the ground in the work, and being able to give someone that opportunity to say, you have Kevin Bacon and Jamie Lee Curtis, or so many, Eli Manning and Misty Copeland, and we had such incredible guests.
Yes.
But then they would be able to shine their light on this incredible change maker that has dedicated their lives often to doing this work. And Kevin would always like to ask every single guest the why. Like, why do you do this work? Because he jokes, I always wanted to just like be a celebrity for the girls and like the attention, and to know that you've chosen to give your life for what could be really hard work, right? Emotionally. Oh, my mic. Let me try that. My mic dropped down. 1 second.
It's going to be part of the podcast.
It's going to be part. Is it?
We're not editing that out.
Thank you.
We're keeping that.
To say, I don't even know what I'm saying. What was I saying?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Jamie Lee Curtis. To know anyways that then the change leader gets to talk about why they do that work. Yeah. Right. And oftentimes they would share that there was a moment in their life, in their childhood, something in their history, another person. Often it was someone else that modeled this sort of inspiring behavior that made them want to lean in and volunteer.
Yeah.
Or it was like an itch that they had to scratch. Like, I just started volunteering here and there. And then 20 years later, they're still at this organization. Now they're leading it. And so it's been fun to kind of see those stories come to life and be able to give a light to the people that I think deserve it more than anybody else.
Yeah. I feel too that for celebrities who interact with the change makers, and for example, how you do it on your platform or on the podcast, I could very well see that might be the best part of their day, right? Or their week or their month, right? Because it's so fulfilling, to be honest, to highlight stories of other people who have dedicated their lives. Like, I could say that, we are a podcast production company. I'm the CEO. I run this company. I work with clients and I work with organizations. But their work is so different from what I do. And I can only commend them for doing what they do day in and day out.
Oh, absolutely.
Without giving up.
It's without giving up. That's the piece, right?
Yeah.
And we always say, service is the antidote to hopelessness. So in a lot of ways, serving and giving back is what is giving you the energy to keep doing it, right? To keep leaning in.
Yeah.
And so, no, it's that's really inspiring. But we had so many behind the scene moments that were really fun and special. One of my favorite, we interviewed Jamie Lee Curtis and the executive director of Free Mom Hugs, founder and executive director, Sarah Cunningham. And that was one of the podcasts where I got on before our sound guy, Kevin, and I just hopped on early. And she was on 15 minutes early, which was really early for any celebrity. Yes. I'll be honest. Okay. So she's on and I'm like, oh, oh, hi, Jamie. And I'm not usually the first person to greet them. So I was just a little, and I think like Jamie Lee Curtis was one of those people that you're like a little like in awe when you get to meet, you know?
Yes.
And she was so funny, so down to earth. And we were chatting and she said, is that your real background? And I said, no, it's not. Like I'm in like a guest room or whatever. And she's like, I don't like that. I want to see your real house. I want to see like where you really are. So I like took off my backdrop and
wow.
She started asking me about like my family and my kids and stuff like that. And she goes, well, you know, here, you should get a pen. She's like, write down my email. She's like, you have to email me with your children's name and your address, and maybe they'll get something in the mail. And I was like, oh, okay. Like just so kind. Right. So then she comes on, or Kevin, I should say, joins the podcast. And he's like, where are you at, Stace? I go, oh, this is my guest room. He's like, I've never seen this room. And I was like, yeah, I tell the whole story. She's like, I didn't want to see the fake backdrop. And we were just laughing about it. But I sent her this email. And I mean, a couple days later, she sent us a stack. 12 of her, she's a children's book author. And she wrote specialized notes in every single book for each of my girls.
Oh my gosh.
Really, really thoughtful notes. And I just thought, what an incredible human being to take the time to connect. And it wasn't just for me. She actually did the same thing for our sound producer who was becoming a new parent. And so he got a stack for his very first baby that was on the way. So just, you know, moments like that. And you're like,
I mean, I'm sure that's just one story that you can remember.
Just one.
But also Jamie Lee Curtis, if you're listening, we would like to invite you to the podcast as well.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, like we recently talked about Freakier Friday on another episode.
Did you?
Yes, because we had a question about like, if you were to swap I was talking to the chief marketing officer of this company called Intrepid Travel. And I knew that she had a son, and we just asked her, like, if you could switch bodies with your son, like what would be the first thing you would do? And it was kind of like also timed to the release of Freakier Friday. So Miss Curtis, your name has come up quite a bit on our podcast.
A couple times there.
Before we end, what is your go-to after hours media? What have you been watching or listening to or reading lately?
So, because I think I've touched on this, I am so overworked sometimes, like in order to turn off, I go to The Office. The Office is something that is my comfort. It's like my comfort food, but it's my comfort show. So it's like an episode of The Office and I'm like humming asleep because it's just, there's something about the timeless kind of humor. I don't get to work in an office anymore, but I know that life. And it just makes me laugh. I think it's good to laugh at least once a day, like really a good laugh. So that's been kind of my go-to. I have been avoiding all media. I live outside of Washington, D.C. So I'm like, I get enough news in media. So that's been my go-to lately.
Yeah. This has been a very honest conversation. So when you said The Office, I'm not even going to lie to you. I was like, why is she saying that? Like literally The Office. I was like, why would you do that to relax? Maybe there was something there that you were going to reveal. And then I realized you were talking about the show, which is a great answer.
Because I didn't say The Office TV show.
Yeah. It was like, go to The Office. I was like, okay, you've surprised me throughout this interview. What's another surprise from Stacy? But yes, The Office.
Yes.
The show.
Stacy,
before we let you go, is there anything big that's coming up for you? Anything that you want to share with us about your work or any of your projects?
I appreciate that. Well, we're going to be working on Purpose Produce, which is this big campaign that we're doing with Advertising Week, where we paired 6 of these incredible nonprofits, local nonprofits across the country with 6 top-tier advertising agencies to create pro bono campaigns for them that really tell their story and get people to support them, because now it's more important than ever for these nonprofits that are really in a critical fight this year for the funding that they need to do this work. And on the tail end of that, we're going to be rolling out a platform where we're going to be helping nonprofits at scale with these same things, communications, marketing, how to tell greater stories, and really getting them access to that top tier talent. Because as you know, in the nonprofit space, unless you are really, really, really well funded, it is hard to get access to the type of talent that you deserve. I always say we're fighting the world's greatest challenges and we're expected to do it for free. And that is just not possible. And so our team is busy at work putting together a pilot program and gathering lots of data and details. But we're really, really excited about how this is going to shift the paradigm for a lot of these small nonprofits to give them access to the tools that they really need to succeed.
Stacy, we are doing this again with or without our podcast gear.
Yes.
But this has been so fun. Thank you for joining me on the show.
You're the best, Camille. Thank you for having me. This has been really great.